guys, I'm back. I wanted to talk to you guys about spiritual predators and spiritual abusers and things to look out for and things like that. I told myself a long time ago that I would not become one of those content creators, no tea, no shade to anybody, that got super caught up in like the negative stuff, because I don't like that, and that's why I try to like switch up my content. But at the same time, I've been through a lot of stuff and I don't want it to be in vain. I am my spirit's favorite testimony of all time. I am their hardest work, you know. So I always try to make use of my past, and I've dealt with literally the worst of the worst type of human being spiritually that you can imagine. Twice. One was a woman, one was a man. And they use the same tactics that abusers use. And this was a long time ago. Like, thank God, thank you, Spirit, I made it through all this and it's over. And I'm much more empowered now, I'm much stronger, I'm much more stable. But all of that came from inner work. It did not, hear me. How I got out of this and how it can't affect me anymore, it has nothing to do with the other person. It has everything to do with me. Number one, I cut them the fuck out of my life. I blocked their number, I changed my number, I, did X, Y, and Z to cut them out of my life, right? That's step number one. I did so much inner work, because I'm like, while they're focusing on me, trying to hurt me, I'm going to focus on myself. I'm not focusing on them. That's the secret. If y'all want to know how to deal with these spiritual predators when they're trying to take you down, don't focus on them, focus on yourself. And I'm talking to my baby witches that will deal with predatory elders and, shitty mentors and all of that. By the grace of God, I was guided to much better godparents. My godparents are amazing. I can't say enough good things about them. But before them, I was like drowning. Truly. Because I had no idea how to approach this. And I didn't want to listen to my spirits. Because I didn't understand. I'm like, if this person is trying so hard, literally, obsessed, all day, every day to try to take me down, do I not have to do the same shit trying to protect myself? Almost like running from it. And I didn't run from it. Because when you run from something, you're running out of fear. I walked away. I said, no, there is no war in my life anymore. That shit's over. And I started focusing on myself. And I, brick by brick, rebuilt my life to where these people couldn't come back in it. And energetically, they can't match me. They can't even reach me, and they'll never be able to. But it came from focusing on myself. Not by throwing curses, not from, going tit for tat with these assholes. No. True, honest, hard inner work on myself. Healing from the trauma that I've been through, both before they came into my life and the trauma that they tried to inflict upon me. Releasing that, letting it go, giving it to God, giving it to my spirits. Focusing on how I can become a better person, and also recognizing karmatically why this happened. And there's a lot of different reasons. Sometimes they're past life enemies. Do y'all want to know some tea? And this is fucking terrible and disgusting. The male that was so obsessed with me, do y'all want to know what he was in a past life? That my spirits revealed to me, and my spirits do not lie. They've been right every time. He was a fucking Nazi. Of all the things that he could have been in a past life. Y'all have to remember, these people reincarnate. People like Hitler, people like Stalin, and their little minions, and people that are just malicious and evil and hurtful, that died 50, 60, 100 years ago, usually their soul isn't done. They reincarnate. That gives you an energetic idea of what I was up against. Literally the type of worst human being on this earth. I mean, they wanted to destroy me, and I'm still here. How did I get here? Not by going to war with them, okay? By focusing on myself. And that itself was me being a warrior. Truly. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm like fumbling with this wig. I'm about to go out for the day, but I had to get this off my chest. And no, I can't breathe in this corset. I'm like, I am snatched in, girl. I am zipped, or tied, rather, into this thing, and I'm literally going to have to cut myself out of it. But, the best thing you can do if you find yourself with someone who is obsessed with trying to hurt you is focus on yourself. Because these people that do this crap, that are so obsessed with trying to hurt someone else, they are energy vampires. And it's like, you wouldn't need so much goddamn energy if you weren't focused on me. Hello, math. You know. Cleanse yourself, protect yourself, do your prayers, do your offerings, take care of your spirits. It's not their fault. Because chances are, if you have somebody like this, they tried to warn you beforehand. Ask me how I know about that one. The first time, the woman that I'm referencing, I was not developed enough to have that communication with my spirit at that time when she came into my life. I was at the very, very beginning of my journey. Maybe 6 months in. However, the second one, the male, I was warned multiple times. So much so that my spirits actually visited a previous elder of mine and told her, and we hadn't spoken in a few months, and one day I just get this text of like, yo, I don't know what, and she said it in a much more elegant way, but I'm gonna describe to y'all what she said. She was like, I don't know what kind of dark shit you've been dabbling into, or who you've been hanging around, but you need to get the fuck out. Like, now. Because my dad was pissed off and went to her to get to me. And I didn't listen. And I ended up in one of the worst relationships arguably, the worst relationship that I've ever been in. And will never be in that type again. I will never, ever allow a man, or anyone for that matter, to treat me how him and his little minions treated me. Absolutely the fuck not. I have risen above that. But I had to go through that, number one, to heal, right? To recognize, because that relationship, all it was a reflection of the wounds I had. But it was just all of them at once, instead of it being spread out throughout different relationships that may have triggered one or two. Oh no, everything was brought to the surface of what I needed to work on. And it was so obvious because I was allowing someone to mistreat me so bad, so often. Classic narcissist. The love bombing, girl, I didn't even believe in Jesus that much. Or really rock and roll with Jesus that much. But when I met this man, I thought that Jesus himself had put him into my life. That's how, like, enamored that I was. Because of his fake bullshit. And that's what kept me hanging on. Love bombing. And then the discarding and stuff. But these people, they will try to do everything that abusive people do. So financial abuse, they'll try to tie, that equates to, they'll try to tie up your finances spiritually. So they're not the physical abuser that's physically withholding your wallet and physically withholding your debit and credit cards and stuff for cash and not allowing you to have access, but they're doing the same shit in the spiritual realm. They won't physically put their hands on you, but they'll send shit to trying to get someone else to put their hands on you. That's why it's so important to have good, solid people around you. There is not a person in my life right now who would put their hands on me. Number one, I've been very clear about what I will do if that happens. Number two, because they love me too much to even think about doing that. I don't have people in my life who even have those thoughts when they're upset. Which is good, because I'm not a violent person, so the fuck I look like having violent people around me? Absolutely not. But when I was weaker a few years ago, I was more susceptible. But the minute I became strong was when I decided to focus on myself and not them, because it's not about them. This is things that God is trying to teach me. You're trying to tie up my finances? I was like, fuck you, I'm worthy of abundance. You're trying to disrupt my love life? Okay, weed them out for me. Do the hard work for me. And that's what happened. And I ended up with a roster of good men that might be muggles, but, sorry y'all, I'm readjusting. They might be muggles, but they're such good men that these bad, low-level spirits can't even influence them whatsoever, because of the love that they have for me. You're trying to make me depressed? I'm worthy of happiness. And I've worked really hard for my happiness, and I decided a long time ago that I'm not going to allow anyone to take it away from me because I worked so hard. Y'all, I have worked so hard on myself, you have no fucking idea. I have done so much inner work, so much healing work, and it has paid off. It has paid dividends in peace and strength. And I have to give a big thank you to God and my good spirits, because I wouldn't have this knowledge without them. You know? Because I had never been in war. I'm a divine feminine woman. Femininity is different. Femininity does have a warrior aspect. But with me personally, my warrior aspect is part of my masculine embodiment, not my feminine. My feminine side is the opposite of a warrior. My masculine is not. My masculine is big dog. Right? But it just so happens that I was born a woman, so my divine feminine is going to be a lot stronger than my masculine, which is fine. Because the world is in desperate need of feminine energy, and that's another thing that saved my ass. And some people might disagree with this. I'm a warrior in my own way. Me being happy, me being joyful, me doing the things that makes me happy, me hanging out with people that love me and only people that love me, that's how I fight. And fought. By focusing on myself. And that also does not mean allowing their negativity to just steamroll all over you. No. My cleansing, my protection, and the other things that I do, it's just taking care of myself. It's not about them. I'm not having to take a spiritual bath or do a cleansing because I'm at war. I'm doing that because that's part of my routine, that's part of my maintenance, and that's what makes me happy. But I want you guys to understand how these people think, and they will do the same tactics that abusers in the physical realm do. Because it's abuse. Quite literally, they are abusing their power. God did not give us these religions and these shrines and these herbs and tools and stuff to try to hurt innocent people. That's not why it's here. And they pay dearly for it. I've seen it. The 2 people that I mentioned in this video, neither one of them is doing well right now. Because this is how they chose to spend their life. Trying to siphon, trying to be wannabe vampires, wannabe Draculas, focusing on other people and trying to take from other people and trying to take a shortcut instead of doing the inner work and working on themselves. So they might get away with it for a little while. But God comes for everybody. There is no escaping lessons. There is no escaping karma. And I kept my hands clean. That's another thing. Because I was like, fuck y'all. I'm not sending y'all shit. You're not getting my energy. I just took care of myself. Because it's not about them. It's not. It's about what God and the divine is trying to teach me. Okay. I'm going to get off of here. I love y'all very much. If you would like a reading, just DM me here on Instagram at Siren's Nectar or text/WhatsApp 678-390-0688. Okay.